I might get canceled for saying this, but Jon Watts deserves jail time for his crimes against Spider-Man. His entire trilogy lacked any personal style or any dynamic cinematography. Whether it was Sam Raimi with his trilogy or Mark Webb with his two, they all had something that Jon Watts didn't have, which was a sense of style, which was a sense of personality that came with directing Spider-Man. Apart from having Spider-Man in this 80s style high school comedy, it has very basic cinematography and choreography, and it nulls the senses when it should be explosive. We're talking about Spider-Man. Take, for example, the train sequence in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, or even Gwen's death in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Those are very specific points of view. These artists want to say something, and they showcase it with their style. Jon Watts just doesn't have that in the previous trilogy, which is exactly why Spider-Man Brand New Day genuinely surprised me. I seriously went into the theater expecting what we had beforehand, but I mean, with a new creative team behind the scenes, it made the small potatoes feel grand and massive again. They actually brought back the magic of Spidey, which should always be the main focal point in these movies. It's Spider-Man. Come on, it's not that hard. The biggest reason why this movie works is because of director Destin Cretton and his entire crew. Right off the bat, the cinematography is a huge upgrade from what we had prior. Every single camera movement has purpose, has a sense of direction. The framing actively tells you about each of the characters and the environment, rather than it just being the formulaic cinematography that we've seen before. The camera moves and breathes with its actors. Also, a huge shout out has to go to the production design team because it makes New York City actually feel like a main character again. Wow, would you look at that? A Spider-Man movie where New York City is a main character. Who would have thought that would work? Everyone, man. It's just... this is why I get so frustrated talking about that Watch trilogy, man. It's like... I'm not talking about these Spider-Verse movies because those are anomalies. Those are incredible films that understand Spidey to a T. Let's talk about some pros for this movie. This is Tom Holland's best performance as Peter Parker / Spider-Man thus far. Holland plays that pain beautifully. His chemistry with Zendaya is fantastic, and so is she. That conversation that MJ has with Peter when she reads his no is exactly why I watch Spider-Man movies. The supporting cast is great also, right? Like Jon Bernthal playing the Punisher. I really like him in the Daredevil series and in his own show. This character can translate from those stories to stories like Spider-Man very well. The comedy aspect with him and Spidey is very funny. Those are some of the funniest scenes in the entire movie. They're bickering, them going back and forth. They're two different philosophies going at each other. It's not like Daredevil and Punisher in the Daredevil series. More like an older brother and a younger brother fighting. I really like that dynamic. Sadie Sink does a great job here playing Jean Grey. Sort of the introduction to the X-Men world. She's very cool and her powers are great as well. I love that rooftop scene where she gets into MJ's mind and she plays with Peter a little bit. One of the best scenes in the entire movie. I wasn't the biggest fan of Marissa Tomei and Sadie Sink's conversation towards the end of the movie. It just felt like something we've seen before, like a little too repetitive, but it's still good nonetheless. But now we have to talk about some negatives of the movie because this movie isn't perfect. It's not. Marvel still has a huge problem. Why are they so scared of their movies looking vibrant and colorful? They're a comic book company. Like, what's not clicking? This movie does look significantly better than the Watch trilogy, but even so, the Hulk, he looks gray in some moments. Like, legit, he looks gray. What color is the Hulk? Green. He looks gray. I need some more vibrant colors coming from that. The Spidey suit looks great. The red and blue really stand out. Like, don't be scared of it. You have comic book characters. They're very colorful. Use them, please. My battery's about to die. Fuck. Look, regardless, this movie is still an upgrade, but we should still demand better. On top of that, Marvel has another issue with their villains or their antagonists. They're always one note. There's never any like layers to them. Nothing below the surface. I love Tremel Tillman in Severance, but he has done a disservice here. He's not given much to work with. Last thoughts about this movie. I'm so glad they didn't do that No Way Home stuff where they pause for 10 seconds waiting for the audience's reaction. But if you watch the movie at home, there's just like 10 seconds of silence. Doesn't serve anything other than just fan service. It's super annoying, and I'm very glad they didn't do that here. They would introduce a character, they would do something crazy, but the movie kept going, and that's what movies should always do. They think we're zoo animals or something. But honestly, judging by those videos of people reacting in the movie theater to Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, I can see why they would treat us that way. So, all in all, Spider-Man Brand New Day is a return to form for the character of Spider-Man. Watching the end credits with everyday people from New York City enjoying their lives is exactly why I watch a Spider-Man movie. It's exactly why he puts on the mask. Sounds a little bit cheesy, but that's just who Spider-Man is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.